Welcome to another episode of Leadership Lessons. We're very excited today to speak with our guests. This is a place where we discuss topics of interest to Kentucky Baptists with folks who, in most cases, are Kentucky Baptists. And my guest today is Daniel Tarnagda. Daniel, thank you for joining Leadership Lessons.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let me tell you about Daniel. So Daniel is the CEO and co-founder, along with his wife Alice, of Refuge Bowling Green, which is a ministry to internationals and refugees in South Central Kentucky. And so let's just jump right in with these questions. Daniel, some of our folks know you and are acquainted with your work through WMU and Mission Service Corps connections. But for those who don't, tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to faith in Christ.
Yes, absolutely. So I was born in a tiny country called Burkina Faso in West Africa. And then when I was born there, my parents used to work with a lot of missionary that came and worked with them. So my dad was a Muslim. He became a believer because of a missionary from Texas.
Wow.
And then from there, he was the one that truly teach me how to love or know Christ. And by growing, like at age 12, in Burkina, we do a 3 days, we call it Esther fasting. So like Esther who fasts 3 days in the Bible, so we're trying to do the same thing. Many churches in my city will come together in Bobo Dioulasso, and we just talk about worship, we pray, we fast for 3 days. And then that's how I become a believer, because I knew that God really touched my heart, that I knew that I was a lost person, and I wanted to follow him. And then from there, it was just amazing, and then grow through those cycles, learn about Christ, and then that's how I become a believer.
And so, Daniel, your ministry is primarily to refugees, and the ministry that you've started is called Refuge Ministry. You're in Bowling Green, and most folks would say, well, how many refugees are there in Bowling Green? And you've already shared with me that there are more than 90 languages spoken in Bowling Green, which is absolutely incredible. So what made you want to start this ministry?
Okay, when I got here in 2013, I only knew my name is Daniel. That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't speak the language. I didn't know how to drive, and I didn't know anything. And the only person that was by my side was my wife. So she really walked alongside me. She taught me how to drive. She taught me how to speak. So at home, we're always doing classes. So I would learn with her, and she would teach me. From there, I grew to be able to learn to speak, and driving and finding job was really hard. So I came in March time. It was snowing everywhere at that time. I would bike everywhere to different places, just knocking doors. Say, hey, someone hire me. I'm ready. I want to work. It was hard because there was a lot of barrier for me. The language was the number one. And then transportation. So from there, she really fight to help me get a job at Olive Garden. So that was one of my best job. I went in there, they got me a job at the dishwasher. I was just going there washing those dishes. Man, that was one of my best job I ever had in the U.S.
Wow.
Because they wanted to welcome me, and they wanted to love me. It doesn't matter who I am. I even don't speak. That's okay. They just wanted me to be part of the family. And from there, I'm like, okay, I went through all of this. And then I had my wife to walk alongside me, who is doing that for those who are like me that are here. We did a lot of talk with different leadership in town, trying to figure out what's going on, how people getting served. But it was not there. It was bits and pieces. There is some work here, maybe you can go there. There is some over there, you can go there, or in that side. It was hard. If you don't have transportation, you're not able to go all those places. And we wanted to create a one-stop shop where a refugee person would come in. You need English, we got you covered. You need driving school, we got you covered. You need medicine, all those things together. And that's why, because through my struggle, I saw that there was a big need in the city, and then we wanted to do something about it.
So, Daniel, you're describing what the Bible says in the book of Exodus to be show mercy to strangers. For you know the feelings of a stranger. You've been through it yourself, and your wife helped you and walked with you, and now you're providing that same service to others. So, you listed a few of the services that Refuge Bowling Green provides. Go through a couple of those again. You help folks with transportation and to find a job. And what are some other services that your ministry provides for refugees?
Yes, so we find that the holistic approach is the best to serve a refugee family or an international family, because number one, we have people that they flee their country because of war or persecution, and they are suffering. To try to give them a small piece or a small win, we find out if we only focus on the children, the parents are suffering. If we only focus on the parents, the children are suffering. So what we did, through my experience and what I've been through, we took a time to create an English academy, and we took a time to create a driving school, and then a job placement called occupation. And then from as the year go by, we added little by little. Like now we have a healthcare department where we have 3 women from different nationality that go in the community with the refugees to help them understand medical, doctor appointment, all those things that is complicated for them to understand. And then from there, we add a youth mentorship program where the young men from 15 to 24 come in. We find great leaders in our churches that work alongside them. They just want to find someone like that can look up to. They can find someone that can help them walk alongside them.
Sure. And Daniel, you just shared before we started talking, you're wearing your shirt with your logo, your Refuge shirt with the eagle's head. I assume there's some symbolism behind the use of the eagle. But you just came from a gathering with about 100 students with soccer training, where you're sharing the gospel with them as well. Is that right?
Absolutely. We just came from there. We had me and a couple of my staff. We went there. This was a collaboration, a partnership with some of the city leader at the county school, and we came together at this apartment complex. They have a ton of people from the Congo, from Somalia, from Afghanistan in the apartment complex. So we knew that they already been through so much. This was a time for us to go there and bring the children out, play soccer, because soccer is universal. All the international love their languages. So they came out, we play together, and then we send them to their teacher that they already know, and the teacher taught them some writing, some games, so that they can we're trying to break that barrier, because there are already so much issue going on in their heart, in their mind. They can talk about it, but if we can bring play, soccer is something that they love to do. So we give them what they love so that we can provide them truly what they need. And then it is based on the love of Christ.
And so, Daniel, I think I'm understanding your ministry that you're really offering a holistic approach to folks who are new to this country, who do not know the language, do not have resources, do not have transportation, and really just need someone to walk with them the same way that your wife walked with you. I was doing some visitation here in Louisville a while back with a Haitian pastor, and we went into a number of apartments where folks who were Haitian refugees were living. And, my heart went out to them. The only furniture was some furniture that someone had provided, and some places had almost no furniture. Their clothing was clothing that someone had given to them, the same with their food. They each wanted to work the same way that you wanted to, but no language, no use of the English language at all. And so what a great need. And Daniel, you're ministering primarily to folks who are here in the country legally, but also I know some folks come to you who are not here legally. How do you help those who show up that are not legal immigrants in our country?
Yes. So we decided that we are not going to ask anybody their legal status, because we want to see the person that walk in, they are suffering, they need help.
Yeah.
the first thing that we can do it is, what do you need right now? What is your need that you have? Is a job? Is a housing? Is a food? There is some barrier because you are not legal. So how can we help you overcome those barriers? So we have a immigration lawyer that we work with, and we will refer all those people that come to us who are illegal to go through those path of doing those application to have the legal status. Many times when those illegal folks come to us, they just want food or they want someplace to sleep because they don't have those things provided for them. And those who come, like our refugee family or our people who are parolees, they come in, they are already like a U.S., a little bit people who have a green card. So it's easier to work with them in a sense that they are able to have those help a little bit. So we're just trying to follow the law and help them become a lawful resident as much as we can.
So immigration really is a hot button topic, and so I know you have a staff. How do you train your staff to work alongside immigration, customs enforcement agents? How do you work with ICE agents personally? Tell us about that part of your ministry.
Yes, because it is the law. We have to follow the law. We have to listen to people that are telling us this is what you need to follow. So what we do, it is, number one, you need to talk. You have to have conversation with ICE people. So we're trying to talk to some of the leader of ICE that is in town. Say, hey, how can we work alongside you guys? How can we work with you guys? Yes, those folks that come to us, they are desperate. Truly, we don't provide them with any information that they already don't have already, because they already have all those information that they need. We're just trying to find that before you take them out or before you deport them, these folks are going through legal status. This is the document, this is the paperwork for them to understand this is what we are working with them, so they can be at least at ease. Because right now, many of the folks who are here, they are really struggling. You know, they need food, they need housing, they need all those things. So we're just trying to walk alongside the same way that Christ will walk alongside us.
So, Daniel, you've touched on several of the physical needs that refugees experience when they're in this country: transportation, a job, housing, and the like. What's another need that we just might not think about or be aware of? I mean, just even the experience of friendship. What are other needs that refugees experience in our country?
Relationship.
Yeah.
They are looking for a place to belong to, because many times when they are here, they're isolated. They already are in the fear mode. They are fleeing a country. For example, our Afghan community, they fled because of war. Our Congolese community, they fled because some was believer, they were persecuted. Some was the ethnic conflict between each other. But when they come here, those same ethnic are still in the same environment. They live in the same apartment complex. They are going to the same grocery store. So how can we break those barriers? It is now to us, churches, us believers, to find a time to create relationship. Yeah. Because relationship is what is going to propel them to start thinking the right way. Because if you put all of them in the same environment, the whole habit is there. But to break those barriers, we need to start doing a lot of relationship. Home visit, we do a lot of home visit. You know, like even today, we have to go knock doors. Hey, come with your children, come outside, let's spend time together. Relationship, it is very important.
Daniel, I know you have many stories of folks that have been ministered to or cared for through the ministry of Refuge Bowling Green. Can you tell us a story about a life change that you've seen happen through your ministry?
Absolutely. The first time when we started Refuge, we used to host it at Christ Fellowship Baptist Church. And then Pastor Jody and his team, they have been really tremendous, impactful to us. Benny Stoffer was really a great influence to us. So when we start doing that, we start doing English classes at the facility there. We have a ton of people showing up, like close to 50 different families that come. Hey, we hear about you guys. Can we do English classes? And we start doing classes with them. But when we start doing home visit with some of the leader in the church, we find that many of those youth and the family, they were going through so much trauma at home. There was a lot of alcohol drinking for the parents, because they used to be the people that the mom, that especially is the one who provide. But now he's sitting at home. He can't drive. He can't go to a grocery store. He don't have a job. He feel worthless. And then we start to see, okay, we need to do something here. So we start doing more home visit. We start doing more Bible study with them. The son, we start invite them to our home. We play drum. We play ice cream. We eat ice cream. My wife cooks some food for them. And then from there, we start talking about the Bible. And then by the grace of God, he became a believer and he got baptized. And then the brothers start to follow. Say, okay, I see something is happening on his life. It is transforming. And after that, the mom now start to come. The dad is still in that same situation. So now what we are doing is the mom, both son and the mom are now the key in the household to try to get the dad out of the alcohol drinking situation. Those are stories that nobody will know about it because we see it happening, and then we give all the glory to God. But at the same time, it took a long time. Truly, it was not just a one-day process. It was that relationship building piece. And it wasn't just us, it was a lot of people around that family from the church that was working alongside them.
Incredible stories of the grace of God and working through you. So, Daniel, how are churches involved in your ministry? There are lots of great churches in Bowling Green. How do they take part in the work that you're doing?
Yeah, the churches are the backbone of Refuge. They are amazing. It is unbelievable how we just take a phone call and then they will just show up, and like a Richmond Baptist Church, for example, all the team, they are just on board, they're helping us to try to find ways to do transportation, Living Hope, same thing. We meet with Pastor Clay and Pete all the time. Hey, what is the need that you guys have? How can we get more of our church member involved? Christ Fellowship, same thing. First Baptist Church, the name just keep going on and on because every single one of them are truly the hand and feet of Christ. There is not a need that we call them about it and they don't come up and say, okay, what can we help? How can we do it? Before COVID, it was even better. Now the doors start to get open, they start to come out of it. We know that our churches, our believers, the heart are meant for service. We had a tornado here not too long ago, like a year or 2 years ago. But when that time comes, you can see every single people in the churches was out there trying to meet needs of people. And then this is not just, they didn't say, oh, they are refugees or the American, it was everybody meeting the need of people. So we cannot say thank you enough to all our churches in town. They are just incredible.
Yeah, great partners. And if other churches want to partner with you, we'll share your contact information with a link to how to reach out to you or check out your website. Daniel, I know you have a God-sized vision and a dream for the Refuge Bowling Green ministry. What's next? What would you love to see happen next? If God would just give you everything that you want for your ministry, what are a couple of things that are out in front of you that you want to see happen?
Yes. Number one, I would say we have just received some exciting news or with my wife. She's awesome. She's the one who wrote all the grant. She's the one who do all the paperwork. I really give all the glory to her because she's amazing.
Yeah.
Like she wrote a grant not too long ago. We were able to receive some funding to be able to train 280 people.
Wow.
In medical field, in industrial field, in construction, in all those things. So right now we are trying to get that going. And then some of those grant, it is you have to apply for it, you receive it, you spend your own, and then you get reimbursed when it is done. So if there was something to be happen, that would be my priority. Knowledge is everything in our refugees' eyes because they already come with not a lot of opportunity in the ready for them to go. But if we're able to equip them with knowledge in here, everything start to come, the pieces start to come together. Because if they come to you and they're looking for work, and you say, no, let me talk to you about Jesus. Yes, Christ can do everything, but at this moment, they need something to pay the bill. They need something to feed the kid or to take care of themselves. They need at least some kind of self-respect for themselves. If we can meet those physical, the spiritual, the heart will be open for them to listen to the gospel, So that would be my number one goal right now at this moment. But I'm a dreamer. I can dream all day long.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I love hearing your story. I love how God brought you here and the vision that He gave you. So I want to ask you some questions about leadership. Our platform is called Leadership Lessons. And Daniel, you're a leader. You're an entrepreneurial leader. It's very obvious that you had a vision that you believe was from God. You've stepped into that vision by faith. You've seen it come to fruition. So I want to talk about leadership with you. Who is one of your favorite biblical leaders or Bible heroes?
You know this guy named Noah?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. He's awesome, Danny. I love Noah because, it takes somebody to truly have a heart of, we call in French, discernement. Someone discern something. When God speaks to you, you truly follow and walk what He say. And He took him a lot of time to build the ship. The boat wasn't easy, but God gave him all the tool, the measurement that he needed to do it. I am really thankful that those things are possible. And then, the ark was really amazing because all those animals he was able to put in the ark, and then all the small detail that he was supposed to follow, because that's what I see what we do here at the refuge. We are trying to rebuild the life of so many refugees and immigrants, and then it is like one day every day is different. Some days it is they're happy, they're dancing, they're joyful. And tomorrow or the next moment, it is like, hey, listen, this is going on. I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
And then we just go and sit down and talk to them.
Yeah.
So I think, and another part I love to it is, like when Jesus took all these people in the mountain and they got hungry, and then He didn't say, go home, go eat and come back and I will take care of you.
Yeah.
He took a couple of bread and couple of fish, and He multiplied. But you're speaking, that's just amazing. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And he spent time. He stayed there, feed them, and then teach them.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
And you've seen God provide for your ministry. Daniel, leadership is hard, and one of the hardest parts about leadership is the leader himself or herself. There's a lot we have to learn about ourselves to lead effectively. So what have you had to learn about yourself to become a more effective leader?
For me, I had to learn that I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I had to truly be humble in that area, and I have to, my culture back home, it is men provide, and then the woman, it's okay, they don't need to provide.
Right.
I have to find a way to balance my wife, she's very smart
Yeah.
and very, very technical. And then me, I'm the guy who I have to know my place,
Right.
because I have to know that this is my part. I can do this well. And this is her part, and she's able to do it well. But when we combine both of them, we are strong.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I had to learn about. And that's all about being a leader, being humble, figure out that you are not the center of everything. You are there to spare, to shape. You are shaping or driving on the steering wheel,
Yep.
but every single part of the car come together to make the car.
That's right.
And if one of them falls, especially, you're going to start feeling the pain in your area.
And on a leadership team, everyone has a place, right, Daniel? I mean, you have an important role that the Lord's entrusted to you, but as does Alice, your wife. So here's another question that's somewhat challenging. What is one leadership lesson that you had to learn the hard way? Has there been an experience in leadership where this is painful, but God was teaching you something through it?
Patience. I can dream about something today. I want it today.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait. I want to go and take care of it right now.
Right.
And then I had to learn to be patient,
Yeah.
and then I had to learn to trust that anybody that is coming my way, it was God intended. Because before they already even apply, they start coming your way. You've been praying. I've been praying about it. I've been praying about God will provide somebody that can come and serve or work or help. And if those people come in, you do your due diligence, but you have to trust that those people will be able to do things that you put in place.
Yeah.
So being able to trust that this person here will be able to take care of this family right, like the same way you're going to do.
Yeah.
Being patient, trusting your teammate, and equipping your teammate.
Mm-hmm.
You as a leader, you might, like I said earlier, I like to dream. For me, if you talk about me, I want to see Refuge in the whole world.
Right.
Because I know how potential we got and how we can serve people.
Sure.
But that's not realistic. You just work with what you have. Two hands. I always say I only have two hands.
Mm-hmm.
But when I take those two hands and I add to your hand, it becomes four hands.
Yeah.
And we are more number. And then you're starting to grow your team little by little. And I had to learn that every day you are building, you're taking one block and you're putting on top of another block,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can build your house well. And then again, go back to the foundation. If you don't have a good foundation, those blocks that you're putting on top is not going to be strong enough to sustain wind.
Yeah. So, Dan, you've touched on lots of leadership elements, the importance of empowering other people, delegating to other people. And those are challenging things to learn, that we have to entrust
Mm-hmm.
some things to others. So thank you for your example in that. Daniel, if you would give advice to younger leaders, or maybe not even younger, but you're an entrepreneur. You've started from a vision, a nonprofit ministry, which is so much different than leading a church. You have to fundraise for your ministry. You have to keep it in line with law, legal guidelines. You have to hire staff. You have to have policies in place. You're the CEO of an organization. Your wife is the COO of the organization. What would be your advice to someone who maybe is where you were 12 years ago, that they have a vision, but they don't have a plan yet? What would you say to them?
Piece of paper. Okay. Write it down somewhere. Because I do remember many times that when we were visioning Refuge, what we want to see happen, we recorded on our phone. How are we going to be treating our employee? How are we going to be serving? What quality of service we're going to be giving to our refugees people? We had to write it down. We had an audio recording where we just talk about it. We knew that it might be 20 years or maybe 30 years or 12 years before this happened. But you have to have, because the moment you get the light bulb in your mind, put it somewhere so you can come back, because that's where your heart was from the beginning. Things change. America is a fast and growing place. things change all the time, but you need to go back, find your root, find where you come from, so that you can always remember, this is what I'm meant to do, and then trying to go back to your root. I would say to anybody who want to start a nonprofit or any type of businesses, you live in America. What are you waiting for? The possibility is endless.
Yeah.
I would never have this opportunity back in my country. Never. Yeah. It's not possible. Get up, write on a paper, start doing your research, and then just one step at a time.
Yeah.
The road is not easy. It is very difficult, really, really difficult. But the end in mind is really awesome.
You're seeing change lives through the ministry from an idea, a vision. Write it down, pray it through, talk about it out loud to other people, and just watch and see what God does as you step into the unknown by faith, trusting God to care and provide. Daniel, thank you so much for your ministry to refugees in Bowling Green and beyond. Thank you for leading Refuge Ministry, for being part of Kentucky Baptist Convention Church, or a church, and also for being part of the Mission Service Corps work and WMU and everything that you do. And thank you for joining Leadership Lessons. We're grateful for you.
Totally. I'm grateful and thankful to be able, and thank you too for inviting and thinking about me. You know, I'm a tiny guy here in Bowling Green, just doing my part, and I'm thankful you take your time to meet with me today.
You're welcome. That's the way cooperation works. That's who we are, is that all of us have a part, and we're better off when we're all doing it together. So thank you for being part of that, Daniel.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Leadership Lessons. An audio podcast of this program is available on both Apple and Android devices. The Kentucky Baptist Convention was created by churches, for churches, to help churches reach Kentucky and the world for Christ. For more information about the KBC and the cooperative program which fuels our ministry, go to kybaptist.org. We'll see you next time on Leadership Lessons.